Alright, guys and gals, here we are back with the Up-Scaled Santa Minifigure by Lego. This is set number 40820, contains 761 pieces, retails for $54.99, and the set was provided by the Lego Group for the review. Thank you, Lego. And yeah, remember in the last installment, we got the head done and the beard was not something friendly to do. We had Distinguish, we had two bag sixes, so we did 6, which was the beard, and then this is actually supposed to be bag 7. So your book may have a misprint. That's not my fault. Okay, just letting that be thrown out there. And yeah, remember we also had some mistakes in here that I had to correct. Some of the parts just look the same if you're not careful. So the building guide, I'd say it's an average printed building guide. We're still at a 9.5. I'm not sure yet. Build quality seems, okay on it. I haven't had anything fall off, so it just feels the legs feel kind of wobbly. But that's pretty much where we're at with this one. So today we're going to finish up with bag 7, and we're going to do the review. And the review is just going to be like I'm going to bring it up and stuff like that. So let me get my stopwatch here going so I can keep tabs of everything. Okay, now we're going to finish up with bag 7. So if your book has a misprint in it, so you just have to guess. So bag 7 obviously is the last one. And yeah, I'm starting to get a lot of these here. These are kind of a cool part. And so we're going to be doing the stocking cap now. And before we really begin, today is the 20th of September 2025. These are just, this is just a hobby of mine. I do this building stuff just for fun. These are not to be how-tos, professional product reviews, tutorials, walkthroughs. This is just something merely just for my relaxation. So I do not have to do these builds. It's not required, but I do them just for fun. And yeah, so watch the video all the way through. If there's any mistakes, and we correct them at the very end, because I've been on a blocking hiatus. So yeah, especially those 17 people on that last one that I had, that one mecha thing. So just watch the whole video and see if I correct it, that kind of thing. So if you're very impatient, it would spell disaster, so we don't want to do that. I'm kind of getting frustrated with doing somebody else's sets. All I've done for the last probably 2 months is essentially reading a building guide. I have never got to explore my own imagination. And I got a bunch of tutorials that I want to build, but I can't because, yeah, you probably can figure out why. Oh man, that's just been kind of things. But I have to honestly say, though, the set's got some color packed in except for the beard. Everything else seems like it's just got a lot of bright colors into build. So yeah. Some have noticed that I kind of mute out certain portions of the video. Sometimes a bad word slips out that may offend somebody, so I have to censor myself because we do not have that anymore here. So if I say something, I have to remove it. It's just life now. I try not to cuss in these. I know a lot of people watch these with their families, with their young kids, and I try not to get in there. I mean, yes, I sound kind of angry. I sound bitter. I'm just tired. I only get 2 or 3 days out of the week to really do this stuff. And seeing that piece in red, I don't think I have any of those in red. This is a hinge plate for this. And there's another piece in here I want to point out. These are very valuable. If you get these, hang on to them. These are good for making your own type of Mills plate and stuff. So a lot of these pieces are very handy for other builds. friend of mine told me he actually has the other, I think a pirate version of this, and he said it wasn't too bad of a build. It's not that this one is boring, I just have a bunch of other things going on right now, you know, so it's not like this is a boring build. I'm enjoying it. It's just, you got to watch out with the instructions, though. Okay. Maybe I should have combined this with the last part, but that's fine. This will be a short one today. I'll let you out early in 2. I'm running out of stuff anyways to put on this channel other than reruns. Alright, so this goes here. Like that. So they're using these as stops. I'm sure it's probably like that. Okay. Yeah, so I'm trying to get things done today in terms of... Okay, it goes right here on this side here. Just terms of tutorials and stuff. Lego changes their release date on sets, so every time they do that, it kind of throws my schedule off to the point of I'm running around ragged here, trying to get my own stuff done, and yeah. Alright, so say, are these supposed to be not like that? Yeah, that's how they are. Yeah, I can't wait for Christmas. I'm tired of the heat. It's hot and miserable, and yeah, it's not too fun. Alright, we got that going there, huh? Okay. Yeah, but I mean, it's sad that I block people for cussing me out on something as simple as a mistake. And at the end of the day, these are entertainment. I watch things on YouTube that do offend me from time to time, but that's just it. I can turn it off and do something else, so that kind of thing. Okay, what studs do these go on here? Okay, it goes on the plate. I couldn't tell. Yeah, at least this one's got a lot of red in here. Red's a color that I don't really mess with that often. So it's nice to have something other than white. I think that goes there. Fits, looks like it does. And no, it does not go there. Okay. Well, now we know. And yeah, this set does come with the brick separator. So I bet that goes like that. There's supposed to be a tail at the back. A rat tail. Santa's got a rat tail. Or it could be a do-rag. I don't know. Rat tail. I saw a guy the other day that had just that, a rat tail. Rat tails. Remember, I never had a rat tail, thank goodness. When I was real little, I had a mullet because that was the thing back in the 70s and 80s, but now that's long gone. Well, no, it's not. It came back again. Or the wolf cut. Welcome to the 80s, folks. Well, now the bowl cut is trying to make its appearance come back again. I think the closest we have now is the egger cut. But I don't classify that as a bowl cut. Okay. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. Look at this. We're getting somewhere. These are kind of cool. I have a big old box of these that I don't even use, but they're good for domes and stuff. So we got the beanie cap done, or the stocking cap. Well, we could just keep it as a stocking cap. Call it the beanie cap. Heck, I used to be called Beanie Boy because I used to have tons of beanies that wear a different color every day. Yeah, I don't do that anymore either. Okay, make sure this is on the left-hand side. It might be critical. We don't know. Where am I at on time? I got 2 minutes left. Let's see if I can do this sub-step here. And if it cuts off, then we know. And yeah, I'm going to have to clean off more memory cards because I do not have any more space. I've been Either I can film or I can edit, and today I am not in the mood to edit videos. So I got to come in here and clean off this memory card. Some of the stuff is done, and we're back to white again. Cool. Not, but, well, okay. And then these go in here like that. And yeah, once again, no, I put that in the wrong spot. I don't want somebody cussing me out over that. Okay, put that there. And now, guess what I got to do? I will be right back. I got to clean off some space. Okay, I'm back again. I got myself another 40 minutes, so there we go. It was already stuff I already had done. Alright, so yeah, this thing here is just keeps wanting to move around. Okay, let's see here. Jay, do you get those rude comments on here? Yeah, when I make a mistake, and some people say you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I do, and some are very constructive about it, but when it comes to saying bad language and just literally just ribbing in onto me, yeah, that's where I have the kind of the issue with it. And I have to, unfortunately, dispose of unwanted content. No, it's not like I want to do it, but these are rare and green. That'd be good for like making hedges and stuff and sticking those flower stems through there. Alright, so now it looks like we got everything set up here for these. Okay. And yeah, it looks like we're doing, got to use 8 of these. Step 244 and 245 are pretty much the same thing, so you just stick them in like that. Okay. Now, why didn't we use a whole plate in there? I don't know. Because having one stud holding that in there is not... Of course, they could be using the tiles too, and that's what we're doing. I think the easiest way to do this one here is to do one side here, like what I'm doing. Now, you can do it any way you want. It's your Lego set. For me, though, I'm just going to put the tile in here now. That will lock all that together. So that does indeed connect that together. It's like, okay, well, that's not going to be sturdy. Well, now it's plenty of sturdy. This is what we call snotting. Stud's not on top. Basically, where we just build in different directions. When we were kids, we always taught Lego the studs face up, you push the brick down, you move on. With modern Lego, it's a little different now. Now we build every which way because it's more of a challenge. Especially when it's human and your hands are sticking to all the pages. And I think that's it. No. Lego, couldn't we have stuck this when we were building this at the beginning? I mean, literally, it goes in there right now. Okay, now I see what we're doing with that. Okay, but I forgot to put these in here. So let's put those in there now. So yeah, sometimes I make mistakes, so watch the whole video. And while I'm putting together the tail here of this, I want to thank everyone on my main channel for being contributors. It's always a big help. Especially to my Patreon supporters and Rebrickable customers. That's always cool. And in addition to that, anybody who subscribes and likes my crude, not so humorous content on here, I always appreciate that too. And yeah, thank you for subscribing and leaving comments. That's always much appreciative. And that goes in like that, and it just spins freely. But there we go. Stocking cap, or a slouchy beanie. I think I have one beanie with one of those little things on the top, but I didn't like too much. And that's what we have remaining for the build. Okay, so now we got to put on this in there. So that's his brain. That's why he doesn't do anything yet, because we got to install that. All right. Don't worry, we're going to get to that point here where we can see what we're doing. Yeah, I have to list out some of the steps. Some kind of curious. Okay, I was thinking it was going to go off to the back like this. No, it's off to the side. And yeah, it looks like it goes right in there. So how do we line that up? I'm not going to press anything down. I'm going to wait until I can feel it going in there. I think that might be it. It's hard to see in there. So I'm just making sure. Okay, there we go. Now it's in there. All right. Make sure that's in there really good. Okay. And that's it for the Santa Claus figures. So now we found out the mystery bag. There was no missing pieces. Instructions you got to pay attention to. So they're a bit on the challenging side. What is the age range? 10-year-old? I would say probably that minimum. With the unnumbered bags or the bags that were misnumbered, it could be very frustrating indeed. Now, when I do the tour on this, well, let's break it here. Okay, now we're going to set it up. I got to get a turntable. This build here, I mean, it seems okay. I'd say nothing came off, but I don't quite trust it all that much. Yeah, so let's, well, that's kind of lopsided, is it? Yeah, we're going to have to fix that. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I got tons of bags on the floor. I'm going to go ahead. So, I'm sorry I got to drop the camera now, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it more down to eye level. And I got a leg that's folding under the other. That's not good. Why don't I just edit that part out? It just makes it more raw. There's some out there who don't know that I like raw content versus processed. It's fun to just kind of show the steps of what I have to do. And two, it's extra filler, you know, why not? I may not be able to use the ring light on this. Nothing bad about Lego, it doesn't have a matte finish. And it's a tower build, unfortunately, and I am zoomed all the way out. Does it focus in on that? Let's see here. I'm just seeing here, okay, making sure the macro was turned on. So, let me move it over here. This is going to be quick. If I need to do a close-up, I will bring it up closer to the camera. I don't want to hear that rubbing up against the drywall. I'm thinking about rubbing or putting some cloth, like socks or something, on the bottom of the tripod so it doesn't rub up against the furniture and stuff. That's the only bad thing about the ring light, is it casts a shadow. I would need one that's probably about 24 inches, and they're kind of pricey for the bigger ones. I may have to get one eventually. I'd like to get a ring light that's probably 12 or 14 inches and just have it sit around the camera. I've been on the hunt for one of those. I don't want the fancy ones with all the lights, like the ones that change the colors. Just one that has warm or cool, and that's it. I don't need all the fancy smart stuff with it. They have some that you can control with the phone. I don't know. I wish this camera I can control with the phone, but I have to buy a Bluetooth module for it. I think we are done with Santa Claus. I think this is pretty good. I think we're ready. I'm going to say a 9.5. I'm going to say a 9. Just due to the misprint, and you got to watch what you're doing. So you got the instructions at the very end. You have to be very careful with it. So I think a 10-year-old well-disciplined could do this set. Not too bad. But for if you're very impatient like me, yeah, it's not, you know, wasn't that pleasant of a build in terms of the misnumbering of the bag. But at least it uses a lot of bright colors. So at the end of the day, though, this is a nice display piece. You really can't play with it. I mean, the joints move, but unless you got a bunch of these, it'd be kind of cool. But this is a foundation that I can do Jay the Surfer. Like, find a piece that fits this here. You already got the joints here, so we just got to find the right colors. This just has to be black. These could be yellow. I'm sure most of these parts I can find. Of course, my torso and mine's is all black with the fancy stuff, so I probably will just more like plate everything in, but that's what I would do. But there, I think we're ready to go here. I think I'm just going to combine the tour and the review all in one sitting. I think that's fair. But yeah, we've survived through this. Well, I've survived. You all got to watch and laugh at me make boo-boos. Hey, quite all right, but we made it through the end. So now here's the formal tour. Here is the Up-Scaled Santa Minifigure all assembled, and it was somewhat of a challenging build. I'll get to that in the review. And that's essentially what he is an upscaled minifigure. So here he is in all his glory. And pretty much that's what this is. Now, this is really not a collaborative build, so it looks like you could just take the head off and... No, there's not 4 sections. It is more of a solo build than anything else. So let's take a look here. This is a printed piece right here, as well as his head. Okay, so there's his beard, and that was not fun to put together. I made a few mistakes, and that I had to correct. So you have to watch what pieces go where. Because I thought I was missing some pieces. I had leftovers. I had to come back in and redo this. So that was not too much fun there. And here's his legs. And yeah, and these do move. They're all, you know, independent. So he can sit down. I mean, and he can wave. I mean, his arms move. The joints do feel a bit sloppy and loose, but his hands rotate and stuff. The only thing he cannot do, which the Santa minifigures can't do anyways, is his head doesn't rotate, so he can't rotate at all. But you think that it's just, okay, you're building the head, the hat goes on. They do go like that, but it's not like a regular minifigure. The bottom part is about as close as you can get. This does come off, but I don't think it was intended to come off, so I'm not going to remove it. But it's the arms are a bit wiggly, and it just feels like some parts are ready to break. Of course, his legs do move back, so you can have him go walking too, although he wants to do the splits, so this is a little too heavy for that. But nonetheless, though, it is a functioning display piece, but that's nothing more. It's just you're supposed to sit and just enjoy Santa. And just by looking at this for the final outcome, I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. This is not a bad little build, but too bad it wasn't a collaborative build. So we're going to jump in the review with, well, play value. There's no play value at all. You know, you can pose him and stuff, but I wouldn't expect this to last too long if you're playing with him. So I think he's just meant to sit on a shelf and look prettier in your holiday display. And in addition to that, only one person can build this set at a time. Build quality seems average for this set. I didn't have anything fall off while constructing the set, but as you saw here, these joints just feel rather loose and sloppy. You know, and I'm sure that you can probably engineer this up a bit better. But like I said, this is not meant to be played with, so everything just kind of feels loose. Even the legs just kind of, you know. So I would say it's just an average build. But constructing the set, I didn't have anything disintegrate, which is really good. So everything's pretty much fixed together once it's done, which is pretty cool. My build experience on this set, I'd say, is also average. It does use a lot of bright colors, which drives me into the build, but it's the misnumbering of the building guide. And indeed, there is 7 bags in the set, but the building guide itself was misnumbered. So if you get a copy of this and you have 2 bag, or the building guide shows 2 number 6s, you're going to have to flip a coin and see which one you want to do first. And bag 6 does this, and bag 7 does the stocking cap. So the smaller 6 does this in the head, and 7 does the cap. So you're just going to have to kind of look through and see which bags do what. So if yours does not come misnumbered, it should be a very easy build to go through. But the set does offer a nice selection of pieces, so when you're done with this and you're just tired of looking at Santa, you can take these parts off and make other creations. And there's a lot of other bright, vibrant colors hidden inside here. I mean, you can, no, it's pretty much solid all around. You can't see, but there's a lot of rainbow colors inside of this. So it's a good inspiration, especially for someone who's getting into this as a hobby. You can hide all your undesirable bricks inside, so nobody will ever see them. So this one here's got purples and oranges, lime green, regular green. You can't even tell in here because it's all buried, but it's a good little inspiration tool. Now this set does have an age rating of 10 years of age and up. A very well-disciplined 10-year-old could put this together, but for somebody like myself who's a middle-aged guy, I had a hard time with the beard. So you got to really pay attention to those instructions very closely because it's easy to make a mistake here. Everything else was pretty easy, but this was probably the only challenging part for me. Even the stocking cap on top wasn't too bad. I have to give this one a 9 out of 10, only just due to the misprint. It does come with a brick separator, that's good, but the misprint, and it just feels a bit sloppy. But overall, though, it's a nice display piece, but it's not a playable model. It is a movable figure. He can wave hi to you and all that stuff, but he's just meant to sit and look pretty. But tell me what you think.